All right, we're here with Solomon Wilcots, former Colorado Buffalo. We'll get into Travis and Shadeur in the NFL draft, but I just want to ask you your reaction to seeing the Buffs get back to a bowl game, win 9 games last year.
Look, I was just happy to see us be relevant again, and then this year to really be competing at a very high level. I wish we could have had better outcome in the bowl game, but it's just nice to see that the program is on good footing and playing well, being competitive and producing talent and giving players an opportunity to play at the next level.
Looking at these guys and seeing Colorado have 2 guys who could very easily go in the top 5 of the draft, what do you think that does for the program moving forward?
I think it does, when we're talking about recruiting, right? We've already seen how the program has driven enrollment up to a much higher level, right? So the school's thriving as a result of what the athletic department is doing, and the football team in particular is putting more eyeballs on that program. And so more players who are competing at a very high level in high school, and they're looking for a place where they want to go play collegiately, University of Colorado, I think, is at the top of the list, along with some of the other great programs around the country. You're going to be seen on Saturdays. You're going to get a chance to play in some of the biggest games against some of the best competition. Guys who are playing in the NFL either played at CU or you're playing against them if you play for CU, and that's what you want. You want to play against the best, and you want to play with the best. And so it's a program that now is back to offering those kind of opportunities.
Solomon, I'm going to hop right in without potentially the QB1 in this 2025 NFL draft, Shadeur Sanders. What impressed you kind of the most about what he put on tape these last couple of years, and what do you think his prospects are here in the NFL?
I think he's continued to get better, in terms of working the progression, getting the ball out of his hands quickly, not taking as many sacks, leading every single possession that translates into points. That's what you want in order to be a productive quarterback. You see him completing, over 70% of his passes and creating a low interception rate. I think if you can keep the sacks down, keep the turnovers down, and turn possessions into points, that's what quarterbacking is all about. And look, I know people in Las Vegas, Tom Brady and the Raiders, they seem to have an eye on him. I hope that the planets align. To me, if you are a quarterback and you're coming out in the draft, think about last year's draft class. It's not about when you go, it's about where you go.
100%.
And we want to see him going to a team, being planted in a fertile garden, being tended to by the right people, because you can't end up with the wrong organization, man, and things don't work out. And that's why you've heard Coach Prime talk about that. He wants him to just go to the place that's going to nurture him, that's going to really be in his corner. The quarterback, I don't care who you are, from Tom Brady to Aaron Rodgers to Joe Burrow, the quarterback position needs everyone's help in order to do well. I'm talking at the highest level of the organization, the coaches, the players. You need an offensive line, you need receive. You need a lot of things working in your favor to be able to do a good job at that position.
With Travis Hunter, obviously playing both sides of the ball, where do you see him fitting in the NFL? How would you project his rookie year going?
Look, I'd play him at both positions. I'm going to give him some reps and practice on both sides of the ball. I'm going to let him prove that he can continue to do this, because that's what he did at the collegiate level. Why would you take him off the field at wide receiver when he can play like that? Why would you not let him play defensive back when he can play like that? So I'm going to continue to allow him to do those things. I think we've got to be careful to watch his snap count. You don't want to plan 2,000 snaps, man. Of course, remember, the NFL season is a lot longer than college football season. So I think you are going to have to kind of, watch his workload, so to speak, and keep him healthy. But to me, he has such a joy to what he does. He brings a lot of fun to it, and his heart is into it. Like, he's passionate about what he does. And when people are having fun at what they do, man, let them do it. Let them have fun doing it. Now, you want to be smart about it, but let him, as long as he's enjoying that, let him do that, because I think it adds value to the football team. There's no doubt about it. And he has done that, I think, at the highest level that I've seen in terms of both sides of the ball, at the highest level of anyone I've seen, ever.
When rookies come into the NFL, the phrase I hear the most is drinking from the fire hose. Travis Hunter, you've been there. Yeah. Travis Hunter is going to be coming in here. Now, he's a 4.0 student, so I don't think anyone doubts his mental capability. But how would you kind of get him to adjust and teach him both sides of the ball if you're going to play him there?
Well, there's a lot of ways that you can do that. If you're talking about from the defensive side of the ball, I think it's just important to know that technique and winning at the line of scrimmage. Let's just say we're talking about press man coverage, right? The guy who's coached him his whole life was the best press man coverage guy the game has ever seen. Deion was a bad dude. I mean, and what Deion brought to that position, and the reason why I think he was so great, everybody talks about his speed, it was his confidence. When he stood in front of a man, never crossed his mind, I hope I don't get beat deep. Are you kidding? Never even crossed his mind. Think about you're playing with house money if you can have that mindset. And I think Travis has that same swagger, that same confidence. Playing that position, particularly press man coverage, it starts with confidence. Understanding that the offense is on the clock. It's that wide receiver, his job to avoid me, and all I got to do is not allow him to get to the spot on the field where the quarterback expects him to get at the time he expected to be there. So it's about disrupting your timing, keeping him off his spot, and you do that by jamming him. You do it by just throwing him off his rhythm. You don't have to cover the man over the entire field and defend every blade of grass. Oh, that's hyperbole. You don't. What your job is to disrupt the timing of the passing game. And they actually give you help. It's called a pass rush. So as long as he really starts to interpret what he's doing in that way, he can perform at a high level. And that's the teaching. That's kind of that's what the NFL is all about. 90% of the game is played from the neck up in terms of understanding what your role is, what your job, what you're being asked to do. And then as a wide receiver, look, man, it's about getting off the ball, getting open. He's got the speed, he's got the quickness to be able to do that. Now, the energy that's needed to do both of those at the highest level, that's really real test. Like, think about if you told him, look, we're just going to play your one position. If that guy just got to play one position, there's no doubt in my mind he'll dominate. Now, the real question is, can he dominate playing both positions at the NFL level like he did in college? That's a hurdle, and that may take some time.
Definitely. RK mentioned that you know firsthand what it's like to be a rookie in the NFL. Cincinnati Bengals drafted you. Colorado's defensive coordinator in 2024, the new defensive coordinator, Robert Livingston, obviously came over from the Cincinnati Bengals, coaching the safeties, which you played in the NFL.
That's right.
How impressed were you with the job that he did and kind of helping turn around this defense here?
Day one, man. Look, hey, I'm going to tell you what Rob did. Not only did he turn around our defense for the CU Buffs, he left the Cincinnati Bengals defense a wreck. After he left, man, we getting torched all over the place. So, Coach, you got to come back, man. I love you being a CU Buff coach now. Yeah, helped us out over there, but man, so that tells you just how good of a coach he is, right? Like he was sorely missed in Cincinnati, but definitely made up for it in terms of what he did for the CU Buffs defense. And look, that's why Prime went and got it.
Just next year, 2025, this season coming up, new quarterback competition going on. What do you see for this team, in year 3 under Prime?
There's going to be some competition at that position, right? And Prime going to be like, look, 2 dogs, 1 bone, man. You go get it. And whoever goes and get it, that's what's going to happen. So it'll be interesting to see just how they develop as a team with new leaders. That's important.
Right. This is a little off the beaten path from the conversation we've been having, but I think like the coolest place you can be in media is in a production meeting leading up to a big game that you're calling. I'm curious, like when you go back to those experiences, what were some of the cooler things and maybe like common threads you found when you talked to the best players in the NFL?
No fear, man. Got to have enough confidence in what you do, no matter who you're going up against. And that means you got to be really good and sound in terms of your technique. You got to know your opponent really well, right? Got to study your opponent to know what it is they do and how can you stop it? How can you attack it? But it really starts, I think, with just confidence. Confidence is so important no matter what we're doing in life. But when you're in sports, man, your ability to know, that's what separates players. It really is. There's guys who are not as talented as the other guy, and you wonder, why is this guy so good? He doesn't leap as high, he's not as fast, but he's still dominant. You might have someone who's not nearly as big. And you say, why is this guy getting more sacks where the other defensive end who's much larger? Why isn't he getting the sacks? It's about the mind. To me, that's what separates you and your ability to be a competitor no matter what the situation is. You can be down by 14, you're still competing. You can be up by 14, you're still competing. And the coach isn't telling you what to do. Those kind of, the great ones have that as part of their own DNA. Just telling you, man, the confidence, the how-to, and the intensity in which they bring to it, right? They're trying to win every single down, every single play, every single game.
All right,
Solomon Wilcots.
All right.
See you, Buffs.
All right, baby. All right.
Go Buffs.
All right, guys.
Appreciate you.
All right. Nice talking with you guys.